On this episode of Sides, we find out if millennials really believe in soulmates.
Aww.
So I don't think the concept of soulmates really makes sense since you have to work in a relationship.
And do you trust online reviews? Some guy in London just trolled an entire city with a couple clicks of a keyboard.
One, I don't trust people who write reviews. Two, there's probably no two. That's the big one.
And what's the deal with Merry Christmas? Is it a warm welcome to the holidays, or is it offensive?
I feel as though Happy Holidays is kind of lazy at times.
Feliz Navidad.
Happy Hanukkah.
And Happy Festivus.
For the rest of us.
There we go, high five. Oh man, I forgot one thing. Season's greetings.
Oh, of course.
I didn't know, I panicked. I was gonna say Merry Kwanzaa. So just went with that.
Are you guys ready?
Oh, yes.
Christian,
yes.
What is going on with your feet?
So I promise I'm still ready. This morning when I thought I was getting ready, someone, instead of packing 2 shoes for both feet of the same pair, packed 2 left shoes from different pairs. So I have my boots to get here, but they're like wet and soaking, so I'm
surprised.
Yeah.
I've seen you dance. You have 2 left feet.
Okay.
And we can smell the wet and soaking, by the way.
Okay, with that note, we are
too.
going to move on to our okay, no ways. So okays are the things that we were really feeling this week, and no ways are the things we were not having.
Okay, let me kick it off. My okay this week is Sweet Home Alabama finally did something right, and they elected Doug Jones to the Senate, which is amazing because thanks to the massive turnout from black voters, particularly black women, they didn't have Roy Moore, an alleged child molester, in that seat. And also I want to shout out all the Republicans who were principled enough to not want to vote Democrat, but then chose to put in a write-in candidate instead of trying to support something like that. I think that pushing and shaking up the entire conversation by putting someone in a red state that's blue is great for Republicans too, because you don't want a complacent party forcing you to pick bad choices. Now my no way is the meteoric rise of Bitcoin, okay? There's so many people I know who are, talking about, I can't live that 9 to 5 anymore. I'm about to make it big on Bitcoin. And in my opinion, when you have these meteoric rises, you have investment companies which will do a pump and dump, which is where they put a lot of money into it, let it go really high value, and then sell everything, get their cash, and it could potentially screw over investors. So if you're just a little person, I'd caution you if you're to invest in Bitcoin, and I wouldn't personally.
So my okay for this week is British stores selling fake half Christmas trees. I just think it's so amazing. Honestly, let's think about it. Who really decorates the back of their Christmas tree? And who wants to? No. No, well, not me. So, yeah, you save a whole lot of money, save a whole lot of space, save a whole lot of energy. So my okay for this week is half Christmas tree. My no way for this week is ugly Christmas sweaters. I'm sorry, these things are the most hideous things. And I know they're called ugly Christmas sweaters, but no, why it's my no way is just seeing people, how joyful they are wearing these ugly, hideous things, stresses me out. It's like Christian socks.
So
I
your
can't
no
take
way
it.
is happy.
I can't take it.
Again,
y'all are ganging up on me.
I can't take
They're
the socks.
fun, man. They're fun.
What's your okay?
There's fun in just being ugly.
Christian,
oh my
what is
goodness.
your okay?
Everyone's beautiful. Here's my okay. Speaking of beautiful people, Eugenie Bouchard, someone tweeted out at her during, I don't know if any of you know Patriots fans, I'm sure they'll be happy to remind you, they came from behind to win the Super Bowl 2 years ago from a big deficit. Someone tweeted at her, hey, if the Patriots win, will you go out on a date with me? And she said, sure. So she honored her promise. They've gone out on 2 and possibly 3 dates now, so they clearly enjoy each other's company. This is my okay because, hey, it shows you should always honor your promises. This is very good. Here is my no way. Many of you are going to drink eggnog these holidays. This is the strangest beverage known to man. Someone in some Christmas a couple centuries ago was making a cake. They added too much milk. They decided, screw it, I'm gonna drink the batter. And it became this vile beverage called eggnog. In my opinion, this should be illegal. It's disgusting, it's wrong. My family loves it, they're incorrect.
For the record, today was the first time I ever had eggnog, and I was feeling it. But
you're wrong.
My okay of the week is also Christmas themed. It is the Christmas eyebrow tree trend. So essentially your eyebrows get brushed out and they get painted green and you put little ornaments on it and it looks like a Christmas tree. So this has been a trend that's been flooding Instagram and I just love it because I love seasonal themed makeup and I think this is not over the top and this is super cute.
That's
and
okay.
the eyebrows are popping. in all various ways.
Michael not digging it.
Let's move on. Let's leave her.
Oh my god. Okay, my no way of the week, you guys will all feel me on this one, is pitless avocados. So these have been being sold for about a month in the UK at Mark & Spencer. And essentially it's this, like the skin is edible so you can eat the whole thing, but it doesn't have a seed in it. And I'm so not about this, because this avocado, first of all, is too long, it's too skinny, and it looks so weird. If I wanted to eat an avocado that looked like a pickle, I would eat a pickle.
All your no ways have been okays for me.
Oh my
Just full disclosure.
It's like a
I'm done with you. I'm done with you. So let's get on to the first debate.
'Tis the season for the annual War on Christmas. Typically, the battle of the holiday greetings starts in December. But this year, Donald Trump got things started early.
You go to the stores, and they have the red walls, and they have the snow, and they even have the sleigh and the whole thing. They don't have Merry Christmas. I want them to say, Merry Christmas, everybody.
Some businesses use Happy Holidays, since it's inclusive of all faith groups. But opponents say that's an example of overblown political correctness. Since Christmas is a Christian holiday, saying Merry Christmas makes sense. Still, others suggest that it doesn't matter what you say. At the end of the day, politicizing Christmas isn't in the spirit of the season. Are you Team Merry Christmas? Team Happy Holidays? Or are you a fan of another greeting altogether?
All right, in my opinion, this time of the year is a happy time for everyone, regardless of whether you celebrate Christmas or not. But I also understand that there are a lot of people in our society and in our country, especially in North America, that have different religions aside from Christianity. So I think saying Happy Holidays is just a nice way to include everyone in the festive holiday season without necessarily ostracizing anyone because of their particular religion. I think for all the people who think it's over-politicizing, maybe you can just stop for a second, look at someone else, and understand that they come from a different background and a different belief system than you. I think it's that simple. Happy Holidays is all-encompassing, and it makes the holidays nicer and more inclusive to everyone.
I'm gonna disagree, because here's one thing. So I come from kind of like a Christian Catholic background, and to me, Christmas almost has nothing to do with like that faith. Like, we're talking about like Santa. Like, Santa's not even in the Bible. Yeah, sure, it's Saint Nicholas or whatever, but I feel like Christmas has gone so commercialized, and it's one of those things where it's like, it's become just a holiday rather than like a faith celebration or like a spiritual thing related to just Christianity or Catholicism or things.
Here's what I want to see over there, because we have like Amanda saying, I use my judgment. If I know you are celebrating Hanukkah, I'll say Happy Hanukkah. If I know you're celebrating Christmas, I'll say Merry Christmas. Sometimes I say Happy Holidays. If I'm not sure, everyone gets a point, just enjoy the season. I do this too, but I want to focus on the if I'm not sure. Isn't it kind of weird to you, especially you as like a person who doesn't look Christian, okay? When someone comes up to you and says Happy Holidays to you and Merry Christmas to everyone else, do you find that like a little bit weird? Because I don't, is that racist?
No, for me, I think like if you know outwardly that someone is, or like if one of your friends or something is Jewish or
stranger, like a stranger.
I think for a stranger, if you say Happy Holidays, I'm cool with that. And if someone else you know personally, you say Christmas to, that's fine, right? You're obviously being respectful to me and respecting, regardless what my faith is, my potential faith, and I respect that.
I guess I'm kind of simple because my name is Christian. Like, people kind of know, but like at the same time, I mean, when you don't know, I'd like to ask, just because I mean, you know, I love to know about people. I'm like, will you be celebrating anything this holiday season? Oh yes, you know, Diwali, or like, you know, Hanukkah, Christmas, whatever. It's like, okay, great, well, happy that. Like, I don't think it's right to assume, but also, like, I feel as though Happy Holidays is kind of lazy at times, where it's like a one-size-fit-all greeting. I just find it so much better just to make it, like, if you're trying to be irreligious, go one step further and make it interfaith, include a bunch of different things. Yeah. I think that's the best thing.
My thing. I'm too lazy for that. Like, I'm too lazy. Like, man, I feel like Christmas has been so, like, generalized. It's one of those things where, like I said, like, it's just a holiday. So when we say Happy Holidays, it's like the same thing as saying Merry Christmas to me.
Well,
something I want to play around. What about compromise? What if stores and stuff had giant signs that said Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays? Because I think a poll showed that in Canada, only like less than 15% really didn't like Merry Christmas.
You know, yeah, I can see that if you're including everyone, but I just don't think you should go from like the political point of sitting there and being like, Christmas is Christmas, and like if you're saying Happy Holidays, you are being like too liberal or something. Like you're just doing that makes you sound like you don't want to include other people, and that's not fun.
People love culture wars. They need to grow up. That's part of Christmas, is growing up.
Well, you know what, guys? Happy Holidays to y'all.
Merry Christmas and Merry Christmas.
I'm done with you.
It should be acceptable for people to say Merry Christmas, because if they believe it or not, that they're just greeting and being nice.
I like Happy Holidays because it makes sense. We're celebrating the holiday season, the season of all the holidays. Happy Holidays. Makes sense.
When we wish someone for Guru Nanak Jayanti, Diwali, Eid, we don't say happy holidays to them. We use the name or the terms that are associated with that holiday. For example, for Diwali, we're saying Shubh Deepavali or Happy Diwali. For Eid, we use the words like Eid Mubarak. You're not telling them happy holidays because it's a specific traditional day or a specific holiday for those people. You're not referencing it into a larger group.
I'm so glad to get to be happy this week. I have an upside for you all this week, and that is Brown University declaring that, you know what, they're so over student loans. Instead, they had a fundraising drive, so next fall, they'll be replacing these student loans with just scholarships, just grants. They're just gonna say, hey, you wanna come to our school? You got accepted? Boom, here's money. And I think this is so freaking great because I'm in school. I'm a bright young mind trying to make my way in the world. Student loans are lame. Why not send some of that sugar my way, Ontario? Come on, look at Brown. You can do it too.
My upside for this week didn't just happen this week. It started a long time ago when a homeless man found a woman, a motorist, who didn't have any gas. He said, wait there, I'm gonna go and buy you some gas and give it to you so you can drive on. Little did the woman know, this was his last $20 that he used to buy the gas. So she was very moved and found out who he was and started a crowdfunding page to reimburse him. He didn't just get $20, he got $400,000. So now the man has a chance to get a house and start his life again. This is my upside because what's not to like? It just shows good deeds begat good deeds. I'm very happy with the story.
So my upside for this week is an epic year-end review released by YouTube called YouTube Rewind. And basically it's a video summarizing all the cool things that happened throughout the year 2017. I just think it's so cool to celebrate all the things that made us smile this year. You know, from fidget spinners to the floor is lava to all of these crazy memes, Salt Bay, all these things happening in the year. I just think it's so awesome. And y'all should definitely watch it. It's super lit.
Tesla CEO Elon Musk is in the market for a soulmate. In a recent issue of Rolling Stone, Musk revealed that after a tough breakup with actress Amber Heard, he's looking for a soulmate. A soulmate is typically described as the one person who is your perfect match. But mention the word, and you'll hear some groans. Some say it's unrealistic to think there's a single person you're destined to fall in love with. And even if there is, the odds of finding them are low. Former NASA roboticist Randall Munroe estimates that you'll find your soulmate in one lifetime out of 10,000. But research shows that 69% of Americans believe there's someone out there they're meant to be with. Do you believe in the existence of soulmates?
So here's the deal. 69% of people think that a soulmate is out there. And I agree with them. There is someone out there who will fill that void in your heart, that person who will know exactly how to treat you the way you want. Christian, there's someone out there for you who will love you unconditionally and change your world. And you're never gonna meet him, buddy. I'm sorry, your life is going to be empty, marriage is a sham, divorces are rampant, love is not going to happen to you. But you can find someone.
Me?
No,
or is this
all of you. You can find someone who's going to be good enough, who's gonna fulfill things. Layla, you have a boyfriend. He's pretty sweet. Is he your soulmate? There's probably better guys out there. But he's good enough for you right now. And that's hashtag my side. What do you think, Michael?
I'm so shocked.
No, Layla, go. My heart dropped. I don't know where you went with that. Layla, go.
Hold on, okay, let me get on that. I agree with you. I think that the whole soulmate thing is a load of baloney, but
I believe in it.
Yeah,
what are you saying?
okay. Well, I don't think you'll like.
I don't know.
Okay, here's the thing. I think that there are more than one person in the world who is right for you at different times in your life. I don't necessarily believe that right off the bat you'll meet someone and it's like, boom, everything's perfect, because relationships take a lot of effort and you have to work really, really hard at it. So I don't think the concept of soulmates really makes sense, since you have to work at a relationship since over time. But Teddy, my question to you, do you think that there's only one soulmate for you, or do you think there's like multiple that you can run into?
I think soulmate, like by definition, is the #1 peak person. I think the weird thing is there's probably like a soulmate out there who's just a great person and will be the soulmate for like 100 different people. And they're gonna have to fight over it.
I want to agree with both of you. I totally believe that if you believe you have a soulmate, you're gonna have this. It's quite possible you're gonna feel a bit entitled. It's gonna be like, oh, he's my soulmate. What could go wrong? No, if you want to be in a relationship, you're gonna have to work. You're gonna have to compromise. You're gonna have to listen a lot, in my opinion. I mean, look at my love life. But also, like, but just to say, like, it's got to be like a lot of. You should be able to be a soulmate for a number of people. If you're not a good enough person to be suitable for a number of people, then I think you're just too difficult.
I do agree with that, with what Christian was saying. For me, soulmate is not like the traditional soulmate. It's not like, oh, love at first sight, oh my God, Teddy, we're perfect for each other. Like, no, that's not soulmate to me. To me, a soulmate is someone you go through hell and back with. Someone that you fight with, and someone that you can go through trials and tribulations with, and somehow in the end, find something within yourselves to say, we got each other. Like, we got each other and we're not going anywhere. To me, that's what soulmates is. Because you can be perfect for someone, and then like when things go wrong and when things are imperfect, y'all fall apart. So how can y'all be soulmates? So for me, it's like, yeah, y'all have to really go through stuff. You know?
Yeah, I agree.
I
agree. I definitely. But okay, but then my question today for you is like this whole idea of soulmates. Do you think it's one or it's multiple? Do you think like, okay, my whole thing is from the age that I am 16 to the age that I'm 80, I don't think one person can be the right person for that long because I'm gonna be like changing who I am as a person. Do you think you can run into multiple or it's one and done?
I think it goes back to the thing like I was saying, like, regardless, you're gonna grow together. You're gonna have trials and whatever, and you're gonna be different people from when you started to when you end up. But that soulmate, to me, it's the one person who's like, yo, I'm gonna grow with you and I'm gonna be there for you and we're gonna grow with each other.
I mean, that's turning someone into. That's not really a
no, I disagree. I think
that's like a life. It's beautiful. It's great.
You're being
it's beautiful. It's great.
Man, it's not this idea that like there's one person who's like a computer match. No, you just gotta be willing to make it work. I like your definition a lot. I like it a lot.
There are like 7 billion people on the planet. Just given that, it's silly to believe there's only one person out there who's perfect for you. That's like saying there's only one flavor of pizza you enjoy. No, I don't believe in soulmates.
If you're in college, meet new people, go to class, and make dumb mistakes. A recent New York Times article suggests that college is a great place to make mistakes and learn from them, but also points out that today's students can't do that. Why? Because of technology. Students know that a simple mistake captured on camera and posted on social media can have long-lasting repercussions. Add to that overprotective parents, a tough job market, and a social media culture that rarely celebrates failure, and it's no wonder that today's young people have been called a generation who doesn't know how to fail. Fear of failure is said to be one of the biggest reasons millennials are likely going to be the least entrepreneurial generation in recent history. How free do you feel to make mistakes? Do you have a fear of failure?
Am I the only one in here who is tired of those 4 points being pulled up to create big sweeping statements about a generation? I keep saying this again and again. It is completely unfair to say something about a whole generation, but especially something like this, like we don't know how to fail. No, I'm sorry. Like, failure is not just a part of life. It's not a choice. It's something that you experience. And it's not just things completely going wrong. It's just getting random chances. You know, things not going the way that you want. They talk about, you know, social media, everyone sees success. Yeah, people see successful people through social media. That means they want to get there. They get inspired to succeed. And you know how you do that? You make mistakes. Everyone knows that. Everyone knows that. It's logical, it's simple. And people are becoming more interconnected. People get to support each other. These are all possible things. I don't know, like, I get frustrated when people make these big sweeping statements, but I also think that this one is totally wrong in addition.
But Christian, my question to you is like, if you did something dumb and then it ended up on social media, like, how do you feel about that? Like, do you think that will affect your future? Do you think you should be allowed to make those kind of mistakes publicly, and it should be like a whatever, or do you think you have to now in this current climate you have to watch that?
I'm gonna answer for you, Christian. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Like, no, we need to stop being scared because we have to own these things. Like, the amount of times that, not even on social media, I mess up in front of my friends. Until this day, they hold that thing against me. But it's like, you have to own it. We, as humans, we make mistakes. We fail. Like, how do we grow without making mistakes? How do we get better without knowing the things that, you know, we weren't so great on in our past, you know?
I think you two are really missing the bigger picture, though, because it's about just the whole climate we live in right now. When you apply for a job, they search your name. That's like one of the first things they do. We cannot do the same stupid stunts that our parents did when they were teenagers, bashing mailboxes with baseball bats.
Okay, cool. Okay. Fine. That's not failure, that's stupidity. And stupidity has been bad since time old.
is?
Okay, hang on.
I disagree.
Let me jump in here though. My biggest beef with that is, you know, you go to all these summits or what are these business summits, these entrepreneurial summits, say failure is good, failure is this, blah, blah, blah. But then businesses turn around and look at your social media and in a personal, private moment say, oh, you did something bad there, you can't be part of us. No, you have a business side, you have a personal life side. Those two should not be interconnected. I think businesses and our generations that have come before us need to relax. You got the freedom to do dumb things and be bad and whatever else when you were younger. Let us have that.
Aaron says if social media was around when I was young, I wouldn't have a job. # my side. I agree with her, and I sort of see what you're saying though. I think once millennials, which, you know, I hate to break it to you, but despite all you say, it is a generation. There are social movements which have affected us. When they get into these hiring positions, they're going to start to be more lenient on kids who did stupid stuff on social media.
I definitely don't think that it's social media alone that's making my generation more uncomfortable to fail in a university or college setting than ever before. I think that it's actually the college and university systems that are making us uncomfortable to fail. They make it so that we're reduced to a number and constantly compared to our peers. There's no room for failure or learning from those failures at all. It's an outdated system and it really needs to be looked at again.
The Shed at Dulwich was recently London's top-rated restaurant on TripAdvisor. The problem? It didn't actually exist. Writer Uba Butler used to get paid to write fake restaurant reviews, and recently he decided to try to turn his shed into a highly rated restaurant. He set up a website, made it appointment only so there was no address needed, took fake food photos, and got friends to submit fake reviews from different computers. In just 6 months, it hit #1. Eventually, the Shed opened for one night, serving unsuspecting customers dressed up frozen dinners. TripAdvisor responded, saying generally the only people who create fake restaurant listings are journalists in misguided attempts to test us. But it has raised some questions as to the trustworthiness of online review sites. Do you trust online reviews? How do online reviews impact your decision to buy something?
Okay, 2 things. I do not let reviews influence my decision, and I'm gonna tell you why. One, because of the explainer video, that's funny. 1, I don't trust people who write reviews. 2, there's probably no 2. That's the big one. That's the big one. I'm gonna be honest, because look, when I go to a store, I'm gonna eat, and if there's too much salt, I'm gonna come back next time and ask for less salt. I'm not gonna go home and tattletale on the store about how they did me wrong. No, I don't trust people who write reviews, because who's gonna write a 2-page chapter book on why they didn't like their food? I don't trust little tattletales like that. So I'm not reading reviews. I'm gonna go, and if I don't like the food, I'm gonna come back later and ask for something else, or go to another store.
Boy, you want to hear a bad review story? My boyfriend and I decided we were going to go on vacation this summer, right? So I'm looking up all these crazy hotels. We're going to drop a whole bunch of money. I see this 4-star amazing cabin in the woods. Seems amazing. We get there. There's no heat. There's no running water. And there was a cockroach on the curtain. And this 4-star had like 120 reviews. I don't trust reviews after that. And I nearly died.
And the other thing I don't remember about reviews, it's not just about people lying, but like, I can't think of a situation where like someone has written a review and given a place 3 stars. Like, you're not writing about a place because it's mediocre to good value or whatever. You're either writing maybe because you really loved it, or more likely because you're really angry. There's no news like bad news. So you have to, like, you talking about salt, you gotta take this stuff with a grain of salt, because there's a total sampling bias in terms of these reviews.
Yeah.
I think they're fine as long as you A, consider the source, and B, compare it with some real objective, tangible information.
Okay, because this is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing Layla, I'm seeing Michael. You guys are 2 little kids playing with a lighter, complaining you got burnt. You just don't know how to use it, baby. Okay? Reviews. You have to look at the source, like he said. You can look at these people's accounts. If a person's given one place a 5-star review and never reviewed anything else, don't believe it. Number 2, look at the 1-star reviews. You need to realize what bothers you more. Someone complains about too much salt, gives a 1 star. Who cares about the number? Someone gives a 1 star and they say, well, what I noticed was the servers weren't very nice and all this. You have to consider, do I care about the servers or do I care about the food?
Okay, no.
Definitely don't trust reviews online, since I myself have worked in an industry where people can review online, and mostly it's really angry customers that have bad experiences for whatever reason. It might be themselves, but I think after working in the service industry, you learn to take those things with a grain of salt.
Guys, we have a guest.
Oh,
We
God.
do. Who's that? Hey, it's Alayna.
Going up to the side
How's it
set.
going?
Hi, everybody. How's it going?
How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good.
Welcome.
We both love to travel. I think a lot of people love to travel. You were part of this group of people that devoutly only brings carry-ons, no check bags.
Yeah.
So I admire the discipline, but like, why and how?
Why not? Well, why? It saves time, it saves space, it's so easy. How? A great tip, this is like my favorite hack for if you just want to bring a carry-on, bring your own bag to put the liquids in. Like I have a separate makeup bag, it's probably this big, that I fill with all my toiletries, all of my liquids, and when I go through security, I take it out myself. I don't leave it in the suitcase. I take it out myself and show them these are my toiletries. They've never given me a problem. I take way more liquids than I'm supposed to. Way more.
You recently went on a trip to Europe and you called it life-changing.
It was absolutely life-changing.
But initially you didn't want to go. Like, why?
Yeah, so this is actually a little bit embarrassing. I have anxiety. That's not the embarrassing part. I've struggled with anxiety my whole life, as long as I can remember. Panic attacks, social anxiety, general anxiety, anxiety in every which way. And I was given the opportunity to go on a trip with Kentucky to Spain, and I didn't go. I didn't go, and I could have gone, and that's the worst part of it. My anxiety told me I didn't have time when I did have time. It told me I couldn't go because I was too busy and I had all this other stuff. I could have gone, and I didn't. And life doesn't often give you second chances. Kentucky gave me a second chance. They wanted to know if I wanted to go on a trip to Europe. And even though my anxiety told me no, I said yes, and I did it. And just that in itself, that I went even though my brain was telling me I couldn't go for a number of reasons, was life-changing in itself.
I went to Europe. It wasn't a very life-changing experience to me. So how did Kentucky make that whole life-changing experience happen for you?
So Kentucky is like a tour company, a travel company, and especially for someone with anxiety, it was amazing because they plan out everything for you. Like, you know where you're going, you know how you're getting there, you know where you're staying once you're there. So I didn't have to worry about any of that stuff. And you're with a group of people who are also on the same tour. So you're thrust into this experience with a bunch of new people in a new place, a new country, a new continent. But you don't have to worry about any of that planning stuff. And you also, at least for someone like me, you feel safe. I felt safe. Safe to explore, safe to kind of push my own boundaries, and to say yes.
That's really rad. No, I totally feel that. Sometimes the whole planning thing is the hardest part of a trip, and you just seems like you got to like relax and chill and just enjoy being on the trip.
Well, you don't have to worry about reviews. So do any of that. Kentucky takes care of it all.
Oh, you're like really inspiring. It's crazy. So I also hear that you're a mindful self-compassion teacher, and like I'm really into like self-love. I want you to like if you could give us advice on how to love ourselves.
Oh, advice on how to love yourselves. So self-compassion, it's a big part of what I teach. In a nutshell, self-compassion asks us the question, why is it that we speak to ourselves and treat ourselves so differently than we treat people that we care about? Why do we speak to ourselves in a way that we would never speak to someone that we loved? We would never let someone that we loved speak to us the way that we speak to ourselves. So that's the big question of self-compassion. Why is that? What good is it doing? The research says none. The biggest tip or the biggest piece of advice that I could give to starting that journey is the next time that you fail, you guys were talking about failure, the next time that you do fail, like let's say you maybe don't get the grade you wanted to get on a paper or an exam, maybe you don't get that promotion at work that you wanted to. Ask yourself what you would say, how you would say it, what tone you would use to a friend in that same situation. When we fail, right, when we don't get that grade, it's because you're stupid, you're lazy, you didn't study hard enough, you'll never amount to anything. When someone we care about doesn't get that grade, right? You'll do better next time. You're having trouble at home right now. I believe in you. You're great.
asking about something a bit different.
Mhm.
I mean, a lot of what we've seen, you seem like a very brave person to me. I think that's probably true. And a big act of bravery, I'm guessing, was coming out as bisexual on YouTube.
Yeah.
Can you just talk a bit about like how YouTube gave you the confidence to do that, and how both the straight community and the LGBT community reacted to that?
Yeah, that's a really funny question. The difference between kind of the straight community and the LGBTQ community. I had the courage to do that, to come out, because when I was in high school, I didn't have that community. I only had it online. And so when I became comfortable enough with myself and my own sexuality, then I wanted to give back and I wanted to share my story, maybe be that for somebody else. The LGBTQ community at the time was still kind of struggling with bisexuality, questioning it, debating its existence. There were a lot of, terrible conversations going on online about bisexuality. We have come a long way in the past couple of years, which is great. The straight community, and this cracks me up, 99% of the time, and maybe it's because I'm from a small town, and so people don't really talk about sexuality a lot. 99% of the time when I come out to somebody from my hometown, they suddenly have some experiences of their own that they want to share with me.
Saucy.
And it's saucy, because I think they respond with curiosity mostly, and then they respond with maybe some exploration of their own that they experienced one time.
But we gotta move on to a little bit of a fun game. So we have this really fun game we play called Onside Offside. If you're yes to the question, thumbs up. If you're no to the question, thumbs down. Immediate reaction. This one is all gonna be holiday edition.
Okay.
You guys ready for it?
Oh yeah.
Alrighty.
So onside or offside? Opening Christmas presents on Christmas Eve. 3, 2, 1.
Ooh,
Really?
No.
Man.
Wait, what?
A present.
It's Christmas Eve.
Yeah,
Why would you
with you?
open presents on Christmas
I don't know, it's how I was
Eve?
raised. Like, it's how I was raised.
You were raised wrong.
Christmas?
Sorry.
Oh my lord. Next question. Next
I
one.
met your parent. I can't believe this. Okay,
Sacrilege.
onside or offside, and your name's Christian too. Onside or offside, telling someone what to buy you for Christmas. 3, 2, 1, go.
Please.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Again?
How many useless sweaters and jeans? Like, no, direction is helpful, and anyone who's offended by direction is just too caught up in themselves.
Okay, so maybe like yes to other people getting me what I want, but I like to think of original presents, and I pride myself on my gift giving.
Onside or offside? People who leave Christmas lights up in January. 3, 2, 1. No. Do you leave your Christmas lights
I like
up?
if my dad leaves them up. I like Christmas lights all year round. Just call them fairy lights if it's not Christmas anymore, right?
I think you're watering it down. Like, you should take them down. Something to do. Saturday project.
Well, Alayna, thank you so much for coming and chatting
Thank
with
you,
us.
Alayna.
me.
I got my holiday sweater on, and I'm going to be testing out some Christmas foods, I think. That's going to be pretty sweet. You've heard of Elf on the Shelf? Well, get ready for Teddy. That's ready.
Christmas sweater on. I got these little pugs.
Obviously, I welcome all different cultures and tastes and all that kind of thing. Disclaimer.
That's it.
All right.
White Christmas and Black Christmas. It's all dark. I can't see anything. First on the list, it's gonna be like reindeer droppings. That's probably Christmas fruitcake. I can already tell by the smell. And
Oh. I've had this before. This is good.
It's a brownie. No. A raisin brownie?
So this isn't really all that amazing. There's something chewy in it. That's kind of weird. You like it?
No.
Kind of like fruity and...
Yeah, it's a raisin brownie.
Oh, this is... Yeah, you wouldn't want to eat this every day.
it's good. I mean, I always like sweet things, and I've been a fan of raisins, so having all these other like dried foods. Can I eat the whole thing?
A raisin brownie. A raisin brownie?
Is this like a Christmas like fruit cake or pound cake?
I've never had fruit cake.
I think people have a huge gripe with fruitcake just because there's so much love and joy during Christmas, and naturally as humans we need to hate something. So they invented the Grinch and pretended to hate fruitcake. Next.
I've tasted this before, but I have no idea what it is.
Oh, wait. You don't have an allergy to nuts, do you?
Oh no, I don't. That's hilarious. Thanks for checking. Oh my God. Are you like roasted hazelnuts?
Oh, ew, what is this? That's good. Chestnut, correct?
That's a thumbs down for me. Are those figs? Yeah, figs are really gross. My grandma used to eat these so regularly.
Ew, what is that? I'm trying to think of like Christmas songs and stuff they talk about, like roasted, whatever, fire. Ew, do people actually like that?
This next one's gonna be like reindeer claws or something.
That just smells like you shouldn't drink it.
This is cold. Ooh, I hope it's eggnog. I love eggnog with a passion.
Oh God, if this is eggnog.
It's eggnog. Oh my gosh.
Christ almighty.
That tastes like someone melted a candy cane in milk. It actually doesn't taste that bad.
Cocktail of holiday badness.
A liquid you can only drink like in a specific part of the year. I'm a sucker for pumpkin pie for the same reason. It's something to get excited over.
That is the first time in my life I've actually ever had eggnog. So, sides, you took my eggnog virginity.
Yeah, it looks like it tastes. Does that make sense?
People are so weird on the holidays.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about this debate on the war on Christmas. This came in from Jean. She said, Merry Christmas. It's the government that is making the issue of inclusiveness, not the regular people. We honor all ethnic holidays and our Christian ones deserve the same respect. Do you feel like some people are kind of attacking the Christian holiday in Christianity by not saying Merry Christmas? Because everyone seems fine with saying Happy Hanukkah. What do you think?
Oh my God. Okay, in my opinion on this, I feel like by not saying Merry Christmas, you're not attacking the Christmas or the Christian tradition, but by purposely saying Merry Christmas, you may be attacking other religions, saying you're not valid, Christmas is it, Christianity is it, done.
Isn't Christmas more of a commercial holiday than anything than a religious holiday now?
Yeah.
For a lot of people?
Yeah, I mean, so many non-Christians celebrate it, so many, I mean, I have a bunch of Jewish friends who celebrate it.
Like Jewish friends with a Christmas tree.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
No Hanukkah bush, like a Christmas tree. And like, the fact that the Hanukkah bush exists says it all. Like, it's just.
What is the Hanukkah bush?
I've never heard of that.
I don't know. Okay, let's move on. Finding a soulmate, which I really love. I don't know.
Glad I cleared that.
Okay, so finding a soulmate. So this came in from Hunter using the hashtag MySide. He said, I think a soulmate is just a load of baloney because what are the chances of finding them? It's totally crazy. This is kind of along the lines of you guys. I believe in soulmates. Why, Teddy? Why?
I basically agree with this person though. This is my whole thing about the soulmate debate, and it's the fact that I think a lot of people can be happy together if they put the work in, if they get together and they decide to try to make this relationship. You will find things to love about people because so many people are just intrinsically lovely, and that's what I think. But this, glorification of the soulmate and all this is so BS that I'm just gonna play around with it and make
Does
fun.
soulmates have to be a romantic relationship? Couldn't you find a friend that's a soulmate?
You definitely can. I think, back to what that person said, I think when we close ourselves to the idea of love, then we won't receive love. If you believe that you will find someone, then chances are someone's gonna come into your life at random, you might not even expect it, and be perfect for you. I feel like when we close ourselves, like I said, when we close ourselves, we lose out on so many things.
I need to hear a quote from you every morning when I wake up. So
I gotta
my life. Okay, thanks guys.
Thank you.
Oh, what does adulting mean to me?
Doing things like cleaning your house and doing dishes. But I have to say, I didn't really feel like I became an adult until I had a mortgage. And then it was like, okay, now I'm an adult.
To me, adulting means making my own rules, whether that be about where I'm gonna live or who I'm gonna see or what I'm gonna do. Oh my God. Can I think about it for a second?
When I was in university, everybody was starting to like partner up. And I was like, oh man, like I'm focused on school and I don't have time for that. And my mom literally said to me, she was like, Spencer, you don't need to focus on that right now. You've got some amazing friends in your life and you're missing that. So take the time to recognize the love you have around you and that it doesn't have to be just with a partner.
My mom gets, can I say shit? Okay. My mom gets shit done. Like, she gets it done. And I've always found that so inspiring and so motivational. If she's got an appointment to make, it's made. If she's got something to fix, it's fixed. If she's got a workout to do, she's at the gym. She does it all, and I've always found that so, so inspiring.
I think I would tell my teenage self to just relax. Everything's gonna work out. Not the way that you think it's going to, but it's gonna work out. So just enjoy what's happening in the moment.
You are not alone. I know it sounds cliche, but growing up in a small town, growing up in a place where people didn't talk a lot about mental health, they didn't talk a lot about sexuality, I felt alone a lot. And if I could go back, I would tell myself that I'm really not. The internet is a beautiful thing. There's a community there for you. There are people who understand you and people who share your experiences.
So what I didn't get to say today is in regards to the whole idea of soulmates. And in my opinion, I very strongly stand by the idea that relationships are never that easy and never come that nicely. And I think going into a relationship with the idea and the fantasized idea of having a perfect relationship and a perfect soulmate is just setting you up for failure. Because the minute that anything bad happens in the relationship, you're gonna be like, this can't be my soulmate, bye. And I don't think you can live a relationship like that. Hard stuff happens in a relationship. I've been with my boyfriend for a year and a half and we've had many, many fights, but the only reason we've worked through it is not because we're soulmates, is because we want to be together and we see a future with each other, so we work through it. So soulmates, no, it's too fantasized. We can't live our lives like that.
Okay. What time is it? Showtime!
Was I supposed to really? Oh, you! What are you doing? Sorry. The first. Okay, we'll let you know.